Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We are on board the Starship Enterprise once again. I don't use this particular backdrop very often, but we are going to be talking about some very cool space-faring accessories for your tabletop and a new Kickstarter that is launching. And I'm joined by a very special guest, but I think I've got to pull him up on screen first. So, beep, beep, beep. Hold on. Am I pushing that right? Boop, boop, boop. All right, here we go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jay Shelanskey of the Fifth Trooper. And how you doing, Jay?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I love the new setup. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Hailing frequencies are open, and I know I probably just lost like 500 subscribers that are dedicated Star
Yeah,
Wars fanatics that cannot mix universes, but
it's fine.
we do all
They don't.
universes here.
Yeah, they shouldn't be here if they can't like this.
Well, I mean, no. But you guys, disclaimer: you guys can totally stay. You don't
No,
have
no,
to.
leave. Everybody go.
All right. Well, I guess you got to mash that unsubscribe button. Just come right back tomorrow, and then
Yeah.
all will be forgiven. I'll switch over. We have other sets. We can do all kinds of interesting things. So Jay, you've got a really cool Kickstarter coming up. I've looked at it a little bit, and we're gonna look at some pictures. We got a lot of stuff, but before we get into that, how you doing? How's things been going, and what have you been up to?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic, man. I've been doing a lot, over at the Fifth Trooper. We still cover Legion a bunch, but probably like 6 or 8 months ago, I got really hard into Marvel Crisis Protocol,
Hmm.
like
I remember you've
real
been
hard.
talking about it a lot. It's a good game. I'm glad you brought that up because it's like I really enjoy it. I don't
Yeah.
cover it as much, but I do enjoy playing it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like I tell everybody, it's like from The Incredibles when Sinestro's he's like, when everybody's super, no one is. That's like how MCP is. So it's just like it doesn't matter what the next character does because everyone's so overpowered. It just somehow all evens out in the wash, anyways. And so, yeah, it's a fantastic game. So I've been doing a little bit of content with that and playing it a lot.
Hmm.
I play at least twice a week now.
Oh,
So
very cool.
yeah.
Awesome. And I now, do you play more competitively or more just casual, just for fun, or a little bit of both?
Yeah, it's funny, different from like I would say from Legion and X-Wing and Armada, playing competitively is still fun,
Hmm.
like from a casual standpoint because the way it works for anybody out there who doesn't know, like once your character gets defeated the first time, they actually flip over and most of the times become stronger. So like if you lose a character in round 1, let's say Cap goes down, right?
Hmm.
You're not out of the game.
Hmm.
You still got
Yeah.
tons of game left, and I think that gives that sort of like a fun, almost casual feeling even during competitive, where like inversely if you're playing Legion and you lose Vader round 1, game's probably over at
Hmm.
that point, no matter, you know what I
I
mean?
think Legion needs to. I mean, so speaking of Legion, because I think Legion needs to do something to kind of to correct the feels bad, but not so much that it changes the game fundamentally. But like maybe something like where, hey, if you lose your commander, you get a free pizza coupon courtesy of
Wow.
AMG. Even for
Yeah,
casual games, they
I
just
love that.
need to put up a free get your free pizza coupon right here. And honor system, you have to actually have lost your commander let round one. Something like that. That would at
Yeah, or
least make
like
it worthwhile.
if you lose an operative, you get one of those new like force sensitive Oreos that
Oh
they've
yeah,
got.
absolutely. It was going to be dark side or light side. I think they both taste the same.
I
You know.
yeah, I mean the dark side just tastes better,
Really?
I
Oh,
think. Yeah.
oh, I see. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So, full disclosure with regard to Legion and a lot of those games, we're actually filming this. I think we are filming this probably last week before Mini Stravaganza. So, I think this is going live on Tuesday, right when this Kickstarter is launching. So, a lot of the games that we're going to talk about that are working with a lot of this product. We haven't seen the announcements yet, but we might just
Yeah.
pretend like we've just saw, like, by the way, did you see the giant yaks from hell they announced for
Oh, yeah.
Shatterpoint?
Those were crazy.
Yeah,
And I see they finally listened to you and they put in lightsaber nunchucks. I
they
don't
did,
know.
and
Yeah,
the Gungans are riding AT-ATs and
it's
wielding
wild.
them. It's crazy. So
Yeah,
I
and now most of the heroes are turning into plushies. I can't believe it.
and apparently you have to sing now to score victory points, which is
Yeah,
really weird. Yeah. So
yeah.
all the latest and greatest. Um, So let's talk a little bit about this Kickstarter
Yeah.
that is launching, and this is you're working with Game Toppers, which is already a great company.
Yes.
Um,
So basically, our partnership is the things that you see in this picture. For
mhm.
those of you watching, is I did the design work. So we have these new mat designs, we have these terrain packs, and these table toppers. This is the coolest part about Game Toppers, is they can take any table you have, whether it's a kitchen table or your dining room table, and turn it into a gaming table with these table toppers. So the one that's in the picture, it's basically like three pieces and you just put them together on top of your kitchen table. And now the interior is a 6 foot by 4 foot play area. So you could play any games on it. And they could pack away and just go in a bag. And so this is our big Galactic Kickstarter that we've partnered on. And we're doing these, if you could see in this picture, there's these railings that have like these, you can see these like lines on them. So that's our Galactic inlays for the new tables. So everything, a lot about this Kickstarter is the is space theme. So everything we're doing is whether it's going to be for Legion or 40K or Star Trek Into the Unknown or
Oh yeah.
X-Wing, or all these games. You'll have something to get in this Kickstarter, which I'm really excited about.
It looks very cool. Now you also have all these different terrain options,
Yeah.
and so tell me about these. What kind of
So these
material is
are
this? And
Yeah, these are all made out of neoprene.
mm,
So basically the mat material for your mats, your roll up mats, same material. We've got all these different road packs. We've got these different terrain packs that match the mats that we're doing. There's also going to be a space one that just popped up. So
sure.
like if you have space debris or nebulas and you don't want to use little cardboard anymore, you can use the neoprene. And what that does is they last much longer. They
Okay.
don't slide as easily on
Right.
on top of another mat. So and then for like Legion or 40K, a lot of these other terrain packs are perfect for setting up definitive borders for like
Right.
when you're trying to do line of sight or
Yeah.
or
Where does
cover.
this area terrain begin? Where does it
Yeah,
end?
exactly.
If you
And
want
like
to put little pieces of scattered terrain on it, you can, or if not, it still functions as the
yeah,
area terrain.
exactly right. And then how many times in Legion, right, you have all these like oddly shaped buildings, and you're like, well, I don't know where the line is for cover. Well, now you can just
Mhm.
put it on one of these train pack pieces
Yes.
and say, oh, the outline of the piece is the cover, where the cover starts for that building.
And it seems like it's also amazing. It would be really good for like RPGs as
Oh
well.
yeah.
You're just like, especially if you're a dungeon master and you don't want people seeing, oh, well, he brought the giant Doom pit. I guess we're going in the Doom pit today. No,
Yeah.
no, actually, the Doom it's under my folder here. You can't see what terrain I've got because it's all, and all of a sudden, there's the Doom pit. Oh, and then there's a nebula.
Yeah, it's really, and they're really easy to pack up and like travel with too. They're light, and
Yeah.
and so yeah, I'm just really excited about this. And then games like what we were just talking about with Marvel Crisis Protocol, that's all like even though there's 3D terrain, it's all a 2D game.
Yeah, very
So
top down.
yeah, you could just use all these roads and terrain packs for
Very
Marvel
cool.
Crisis Protocol too.
Did you design all of these pieces that we're looking at, and also the
Yes.
playmats?
Yep.
Because I know they're going to have
All these
playmats.
pieces. Yep.
And
Yeah, we're having they have tons of playmats. So they also hire all these amazing artists from the board game side. So Game Toppers has been very heavy on the board game side of the industry. And they're trying to get into miniatures with starting with this Kickstarter, but they have tons of these amazing artists. But all the war gaming stuff is all my design. So we're gonna have space mats, we're gonna have desert, we're gonna have battlefield,
and you sent
all
some of
kinds of
these
stuff.
over. I'm going to show them in
Yeah.
just a little bit, but yeah, they're really nice. Actually, I guess I can show them right now.
Yeah, dude.
So all right, so let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
jump into it. Okay, so
Hey.
all right, so this is no, these are 6x4 mats. I imagine they'll
Yep.
be in different sizes though, because not all of the
Yeah.
table toppers are the same size. But we might as well show off the biggest and best.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why I sent these ones to you. I really wanted you to get a feel for these and like,
Mm-hmm.
because listen, I know as much, you were kind enough to have me on, but I also wanted you to know the quality of these mats. Like these guys do not mess around with quality, and you can attest. They're th-
Absolutely.
they're 3 millimeters thick. They're all stitched edge, so they don't fray. the thickness and the type of neoprene that they use, you can roll these over up hundreds and hundreds of times, and they won't do that cracking
Yeah.
like the thinner mats do.
Absolutely. I've got like an old one that from Fantasy Flight from years ago, and it's not held up. It held
Yeah.
up for a while, but not that long. These are really really nice, and not just the material and the stitched edging, which is also very cool. There's something about having a stitched edge on the edge of your mat that just makes it seem more appropriate, more professional, more like I'm a big deal. I'm an aristocrat, and I've got a stitched edge mat. So if you really want to be fancy, this is a way to do it.
Yeah.
And it's massive. You can see I've got 3 massive separatist tanks on this board, and it's not even cracking the surface of all this. But the design is so beautiful. Like this really reminded me of Dune, since Dune was just recently. I almost need to see a sandworm kind of going by here.
Yeah.
It's really really pretty. We've got also the space one, 6x4 space mat. I put a bunch of Star Destroyers on here. These are huge. Armada players, if you guys are watching, you know how big. I got Deep Space Nine. I'm mixing Star Trek and Star Wars because why not? We've got this much space. Why not do it?
Because no one could stop you. You do whatever you want.
My wife was giving me dirty looks, though. She's like, we're trying to have dinner and get this stuff off the table. And I'm like,
I thought she cared. Like, Deep Space Nine, what's that doing there? No,
she was just like, the emissary will not stand for this, But no, it's beautiful. We've got, we were talking about Star Trek Into the Unknown, which I definitely want to, talk about. But this is a great opportunity to have a 6x4 mat. There's games, Snap Ships Tactics, I had mentioned to you, like it's very free form. Some games are a little bit more free form where you can just say, you know what, we're going to do a custom game and do that. But even if you have a 6x4 and you were looking for a 6x3, I know the Fifth Trooper has some really cool, these end caps that you roll out, and the name escapes me. But
the sidebars.
The sidebars. Thank you.
Well, and I'll tell you, so with this Kickstarter, all the mat designs are going to be in 6x4, 6x3, and 3x3.
Oh, perfect. So whatever you're looking for.
Yeah.
I recommend 6x4 because you can always get a sidebar and then cover it up or mark off where you want. I've seen some stores even put tape on there.
Yep.
These mats come with these awesome bags, really heavy duty bags with stitched etching all around. You've got handles. It's got the Game Toppers logo on there, so you can represent a little bit, have a little bit of fanciness, and they have hooks so you can hang them up if you want. And the window, I was really blown away. So what went into this window design? That's such a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that was with Game Toppers, it's all about upgrading your gaming experience, right? Like for those of you who know them and those of you who don't, everything they do is about their gamers themselves as well. The son was the Armada champion.
Yeah,
right?
JJ he actually designed Grand Admiral Thrawn for Star Wars Armada, and I have a battle report. Maybe I'll link that later on because we actually played. We did a battle report at a convention, and he's a good friend of the channel. JJ's a good guy, but
and so they're gamers, so they know what we all want, right? And that's always the perfect thing. And so a lot of times you're pulling out mat bags, you don't know what mat you have. Sure, some of them companies have had tags on them, but you can lose those easily. They come off, right? So this is just an easy way to know what mat you have. The other neat thing with the Kickstarter is they have all these awesome accessories, and one of the cool ones that they have that I've really been like flirting with getting is they have mat stands where they're these like a piece of furniture, and then you could put the mats in them, and they all stand up straight.
It reminds me a little bit of like if you play pool and you would have a device to hold your pool sticks, your pool cues. But this one is specifically designed for those neoprene mats. And I know, like, my wife has been yelling at me about we've got too many mats in the garage and stuff like that. And so like it's just a great solution when you want, especially if you've got a nice game room and you've got a table like this. I know a lot of conventions have used these tables for like you can turn a folding table into a full game, so it can really be portable.
And here's the crazy part, right? So all of us we've all dreamed about having a dedicated gaming table and like buying one of those really fancy like gaming tables that we've seen all over the internet, But then we go look at the price, and it's anywhere between $4,000 to $20,000 to get one of these.
Yeah, they're not
they're not
cheap.
No, so these Game Toppers, they're made of like He always, I love this. He always says military grade aluminum. So
Hmm.
they're made of high quality pieces. And what they do is they sit on top of your table. There's this little like skid guards on the bottom that protect your table, but also stop it from moving.
Yes.
And so it turns your table into a high quality gaming table. And they have these rail systems where you can put in cup holders, accessory holders, like all this crazy stuff,
Hmm.
right? What I mean, this Kickstarter, these things are going to be like $1,300. That's it. And
Yeah.
like you're going to get a mat, you're going to get all the accessories. Like
And you can
it's
swap out
wild.
this mat, and so like
Yeah.
you totally transform your table into like, hey, I want it to be a yellow kind of desert table, and oh, I want it to be red
Yep.
next game. Oh, I want it to be space for this one, and yeah, and it's
And the
portable.
crazy part is these rails. So if you could see
Let me.
that on that picture, no, that's all right. Right here in the bottom right hand corner of the table,
Mhm.
there's this little like piece that's got some pictures on it.
Yes.
That's a different rail. So we do these designer art series rails. I did the space one. Brent Woodside, he's a really big Star Wars artist.
Hmm.
He's doing a bunch of D&D designs for this. So as part of this Kickstarter, you could potentially get these D&D art rails
Oh
to
wow.
swap out. So all those rails easily swap out at home. So like you play in Star Wars Legion today, but tomorrow you got a bunch of D&D folks coming over. You could swap out all your rails and get the D&D mat that we're going to have on the Kickstarter and play D&D the next day.
So you can really impress your friends when they show up,
Yeah.
or your frenemies who you have to like, yeah. And if you're into maybe doing battle reports or taking pictures,
Oh, dude.
because
Yeah.
anytime you're playing a beautiful game, there's always somebody who wants to take a photo of the table.
Yep.
So it just lends itself to that. That look really cool. Well, where can people find out more about this? I know the Kickstarter should be launching later today,
Yep.
but just in case there's any change ups or whatever, I guess we'll probably have a link in
Yeah,
the
we'll put
description
the
below.
Kickstarter link. You can also go to gametoppersllc.com.
Okay.
We'll put that. I'll give this all to Crabbok and
Yeah.
he can put them all in the chat. And so yeah, the Kickstarter just search up Game Toppers and it'll pop right up. And or Google and you'll find it there. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. We're doing all kinds of crazy deals like so as we how Kickstarters do the unlock at certain dollar amounts,
Right.
as we unlock different dollar amounts, we're actually going to give you more terrain pieces. So, like those terrain pieces that Crabbok just showed us, they're not all of them. We
Hmm.
have more that we're going to be adding to each pack. So, you
Hmm.
could potentially get up to 10 different pieces. We're also going to do like crazy deals where you could like buy 4 train packs, get one free, double like buying 2 mats, which gets you a huge discount, like all kinds of wild stuff. This is crazy, Jay, and this is my used car lot. Come to the Kickstarter and buy.
Yeah, and just make sure you don't cut any holes in any walls while you're there.
Yeah.
That would be a great Kickstarter exclusive if there was like a little wall that had been cut in
Oh,
half, Qui-Gon Jinn style. You know I
that
was going
was
to bring that up.
honestly the best of times. So for those of you that don't know, Crabbok, myself, one of the guys, Ryan from Stabcast,
Mhm.
we all got together and did this Star Wars RPG during COVID when we were all locked in our houses, and it was honestly one of the best times I've had making content
I had a
ever.
great time
So
with that too. I definitely did. We'll have to do a
and
Christmas
Crabbok was
special. Where are they
yeah,
now?
yeah, Crabbok was a Jedi and he just liked cutting holes in the side of ships to get out.
I
So
thought I thought it was gonna pay. I thought Brendan had a different plan for us, and I thought we needed an easy escape. So and
yeah,
I think I found out later on that this was to be our ship that I was now destroying. I'm
yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
we got AC in this room now.
You just did what you had to do. I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
At the time, I didn't understand, but age
yeah,
has given me a little bit of view on what
that's
you were
fair.
doing, and I think you were right.
And then
Crabbok was right.
RPGs, and again, all of this neoprene works great for RPGs. You can,
Yes.
and even if you're doing the space portion, like I love the Star Wars RPG. We've played that. I
Yeah.
had to GM the Star Wars RPG one time, and it totally gave me a very different appreciation for chaotic behavior.
Yep.
Yeah, but and another cool thing about like X-wing, Armada, Star Trek miniatures is that they double as RPG miniatures, especially if you're doing
Yeah.
a space-based campaign, or you're just looking for a chapter in between. And hey, well, we're going to catch a transport, or we've got a
Yeah.
pilot, and so we're going to try to outrun this Imperial blockade. You've got all of that.
Yeah, well, and I think too with like especially the space one, right? Like I know a lot of the guys that and gals that play Legion
Mhm.
also play like Twilight Imperium and stuff too, right? So that now you could just and those tables on the rails, they actually have little slots for cards and stuff. So
Yes.
so I mean, it's just like these gaming tables are amazing. We're gonna have tons of mat designs, not just for wargaming, but also these just beautiful art piece mat designs to put under like board games and stuff. So if you're a board game player, this is for you as well, and I highly recommend checking it out.
So what about folks who maybe have backed game toppers in the past and they already have the game topper and they're just looking for the mats? Is there going to be options for,
Oh yeah.
for that as well?
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's a lot. I mean, I'll tell you this, I'm new to partnering with Game Toppers, and the one of the biggest things to me that stood out, I went to Origins with them, and was kind of showing this stuff off. They have a rabid fan base.
Mhm.
Like these people know the quality of this stuff, and they just were coming in the booth and going, What do you guys got that's new? What can I buy? I bought this table already. You got new mats? You got new designs? Like, what's going on?"
Right.
And so if you have a game topper, the mats are new. We've got some special surprises that I can't say because they're secret unlocks. But there's gonna be mats, there's gonna be stuff for you, there's gonna be accessories, all kinds of crazy stuff. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Awesome.
it's gonna be
Awesome.
wonderful.
Now, I have to confess that when you said they had a rabid fan base, I initially heard you say they have a rabbit fan base,
I
and I
Yeah.
wanted to interrupt you, and I just let you keep going. But then the whole time you were telling me
Yeah.
that, I imagined like all these bunnies going in there, like, you got any carrots in here?
I
What's
I'm gonna
new?
be honest with you. I did say rabbit, and there were a lot of rabbits in the booth. It was a mess.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah, and we had a lot of cleaning to do at the end of every day.
you
So
know,
I
that can
think I was
happen.
just at like a 4-H like state fair. I don't even think I went to Origins,
Might
honestly.
have been. Might have been. If I turn on the four lights,
Ah,
I can make you say just about anything. So,
yeah.
no, all right. All right. No, no, this is really cool. And when we talked about this, I thought it was great to see places that I love to support. I've done some content for Game Toppers in the past. I know Berkey and his son JJ is also former Armada world champion. Great folks, and I love to see you partnering with them. So for you guys watching at home too, I mean, this is a great company. These are great
Yeah.
people that really care about their customers and then your satisfaction as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think there's a better company you could go with. So if you're on the fence about it, keep that in mind.
Yeah, and that I mean, this should tell you for those of you that know us, the Fifth Trooper and like our mats and our sidebars and all that stuff.
Mm,
Our recent sidebars that we just did, the new versions, they were all done through Game Toppers, and we sold them. Our 3x3 mats that we were just selling, all done through Game Toppers, and basically what happened was it's a lot of work to sell and ship mats and to do all that stuff for just me. I'm just one guy over here, doing this stuff.
mm,
And so when this opportunity came up, it was really a no-brainer for me to move all the mat stuff that we were doing at the Fifth Trooper over to Game Toppers because of the quality, the not only the quality of the product but the quality of their character of
yeah.
Berkey and Josiah. Like they're great people. They really care about their customers. I mean, for goodness sakes, Berkey hands out his like cell phone number to
Mhm.
customers like at trade shows and be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, if there's anything you need, you just call me."
I hear he's got really good beef jerky too.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is
Hmm.
famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so like all the content creators over on the board game side, like Secret Cabal and all those guys, they like are jonesing and they like
Yeah.
come over into like drug fiends looking for this beef jerky. It's
Okay.
wild.
All right. So Berkey, if you're watching this, next time I see you, I'm gonna have to try and I'm gonna have to see if I can finagle or work out some kind of trade,
Yeah,
for a piece of jerky. So this way I can say I won't have to say I've heard that it's really good anymore. So
yeah.
yeah. No, very cool stuff. So, all right. So we talked a little bit about the Kickstarter. Should be launching today. How long is this running for? If you know, you know,
I don't know. I think it's like 20 or 30 days. It's something
so
like
people
20
have
days, I think.
time.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
It's
for
not like
sure.
a weekend only deal, you know.
No, no, no.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna have links in the video description below. You still have now? Do you still have the sidebars and stuff at fifthtrooper.com?
No, so we sold out of our last run, and eventually we're going to move them over to Game Toppers.
Okay,
So
very cool.
yeah, so I'm really trying to honestly focus on content over at the Fifth Trooper. We had this really nice run where we were selling a lot of stuff, um, and it was just really hard to do. So I'm moving the mats over. So we're still doing mats. They're still available just through Game Toppers.
Okay.
And yeah, we're going to focus up on content. You know
Okay,
how that
awesome.
is.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys have been doing a lot of content. Like, how many podcasts do you guys have now?
So we have four. We have two Legion podcasts. We have Notorious Scoundrels and Legion 99.
Hmm.
Then I do a MCP. It's only on YouTube. It's kind of like a 15-minute podcast video cast about beginner's guide to Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Hmm.
And then our fourth one is we have a Cthulhu RPG podcast called Iron and Tentacles, which we all get together and run through some Cthulhu RPGs, which is a ton of fun. So,
Okay, very cool, very cool. So, outside of Marvel Crisis Protocol, what have you been playing lately? What are you looking forward to?
okay, I'll do what I'm looking forward to. And honestly, you just had the developers on, but is Star Trek Into the Unknown.
Okay, all right, awesome.
I'm going to tell you guys, listen to me. All of you at home thinking about you saw Crabbok's video and you're like, I don't know, it is the entire team that worked on X-Wing and Armada worked on this game.
Yeah.
And so that alone should get you out the door and buying this game. The ships are to scale, which is huge.
Mm.
They're going to do some really cool, interesting stuff, and I think a lot of it is there's going to be different modes to play. Like it's going to be an incredible game. I'm so stoked for it.
I'm massively excited for it. I think talking with Max and Michael. One of the things I think that stuck out is if you are on a budget. Because miniatures games can get to be a little on the expensive side. Granted, they're not necessarily as expensive as starting a whole new 40K army or something like that. But still, I think the core set's like somewhere. It's not 200. It hasn't reached. It's not quite that
No,
much, but it's still I think like 150 ish,
I think so too.
somewhere in
Yeah.
that ballpark, which is still not for a lot of people that's still significant. But
Yep.
the cool thing is you're getting everything you need to play that entire campaign for
Yeah.
2 players in there. You don't have to. Your friend doesn't have to buy their own fleet.
No.
And everything is based around 3 ships in there. And so then, if you want to get more ships, it's like I want to expand the fleet, not I have to do this for this campaign. Oh, I needed another capital ship because I can't run the campaign without it. No, expansions are totally optional. Unless, of course, you're a diehard Star Trek fan, then you have to have everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just a miniature. Like any miniatures fan is like that. Like, I mean, that's MCP. I was like, oh, I'm just going to run Avengers, and now I've literally have hundreds of models. I can't stop myself. But the Star Trek thing is so cool, and I did a couple demos at I think it was Adepticon,
Mm-hmm.
and it just there's so much going on with it, and so many different ways you're going to be able to play it, and it's just so interesting to me that I think it's going to be a really, really big hit. And I would encourage, even if you're not like a huge Star Trek fan, but you're a fan of the game developers who worked
Yes.
on Armada and X-Wing, like you need to support these guys and get this game. I think it's going to be a wonderful game.
It seems that way to me. Having only played the demo kit,
Yeah.
it does a great job to wet the whistle, to just show you, here's what some of the things that this game is capable of, and imagine how much it's going to be, with just 2 ships, and then imagine with 3, because there's so much you can do with just a small ship, and
Right.
and then the whole saucer separation, like from
Oh
the
my
get-go.
gosh. I know.
There's so many mechanics they put into this game that if this were like Fantasy Flight games, would have been mechanics that came out around like wave 5 or 6. And then you have this whole, oh no, how do we balance all the old content against cloaking? How do we balance all this other stuff against a ship that can have a saucer separation? But the fact that it's there from the beginning, really cool. Shows a lot of planning.
Well, and just like the way they're handling crew and the ships, and like how you're operating the ships with those dial cards is just like It's so good.
Hmm.
And the only thing I would warn people of, because you've played you just said you
Hmm.
played the
Yeah.
starter kit there, is it's gonna seem overwhelming at first. You're
Yeah.
gonna look at it and you're gonna go, you're gonna look at the ship card, you're gonna look at all that, you're gonna go, I don't know. Just walk through the demo game and
Yes.
the playthrough game and give it a shot, and then you'll just pick it up so fast. It's so easy to pick up once you start like walking through it and going, oh, I get what they're doing here, this makes total sense. And then it's just such an intuitive game once you get going.
Hmm.
It's, oh man, I'm really really excited
Yeah,
about that
and
game.
it sounds like you can do so many things, but even on a lot of missions, you won't have to do everything. There's going to be
That's correct.
torpedoes have a whole rule set, but there's going to be missions where you don't fire any torpedoes. There may be multiple missions where you don't fire. You're not going to have
Yeah.
to do everything in every game.
Did you ever play that board game Star Trek Ascendancy?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yes,
all right.
yes, I've got
So
that
for
one.
for those of you who don't know, in Star Trek Ascendancy, like you can be the different factions, and each faction, like the Starfleet, does not attack people. That's not what they do. They'll fight if they have to, but like you would get bonuses or certain ways to like go into new systems with Starfleet, right? And from what I've heard, Into the Unknown's going to be the same way, where there could be missions where it's like, oh no, you're not supposed to attack, you're just going to see what's going on in the sector, like
Mhm.
just go check it out. And then like if the Dominion's like, we're coming for you, then you
Mhm.
can like, but
Yes.
you know, like they're playing into those faction specific roles in a way that I think I've always wanted the Star Wars games to play into
Yeah.
them, you know, and like not so much in like it's mechanics, but it's very specific to the show and to the world of Star Trek, which is so wonderful.
And the future is, I mean, I don't know if you've seen Lower Decks yet, but
Yeah,
the future of the things that they can potentially do. Now,
yeah,
they didn't confirm Lower Decks or anything like that,
yeah,
but I think they did confirm that it's something that they would love to do. And
yeah.
I imagine, again, if you're on the fence about this game and you're a fan of Lower Decks, definitely pick this up, support the game, so that that those extra waves, that the future becomes
Yeah.
closer to now, because that's a big important thing
Yeah,
is
and
supporting the game.
from what I know of those guys, they're all Star Trek fans as well.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I mean, again, all this stuff, right? Like, it's so nice when fans of whatever the thing is, whether it's this Kickstarter or Game Toppers or or Star Trek Into the Unknown, it's like the guys who do great stuff are the ones who are as passionate as we are about those things, you
Yes.
know. And so just seeing all these people with all this passion, like we should just be supporting them just because of the passion and the that they're putting into this.
Oh, for sure. I definitely I agree with that. It makes a lot of sense. I'm hoping that that it comes out sooner rather than later. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been waiting for it. It was originally supposed to come out in April,
yeah.
and I'm like, I'm so ready. Like, I need it. I need it
Me
now.
too.
You
Yeah,
know, but
same.
I think it's looking like October right now. I think that's 10.
Yeah, I think that's the date that I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's tentative. Of course, everything's always subject to change. You never know when another
Yeah.
pandemic is going to break out and just throw everything out of
Yeah.
whack. So, yeah, so interesting stuff. All right, so let's wrap things back around full circle for
Okay.
whatever game you're playing. Um, Game Toppers Galactic Kickstarter 4.5. It is coming. Let me ask you one more question about this.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the 4.5?
Okay. So basically Game Toppers does big Kickstarters and then like midway Kickstarters. So I think last year they did their Kickstarter 4, which they introduced all these new products like for the tables, like
I
these
see.
like really really like tons of stuff. And the 4.5, the like .5 ones are just like new mats, new accessories for the stuff that they introduced, that sort of stuff. So that's why
Okay.
it's 4.5.
Excellent, excellent. There we go. It's not like measurements. It's like the table's only 4.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
So,
No, no,
well,
no.
actually, that would be pretty tall. That would be a very tall table.
That would be,
You'd
you'd
have to
be
kind of
playing
stand
like,
up to play.
yeah, yeah, on my tippy toes. Like,
Yeah,
"Whoa." Yeah,
advantage for tall people to have line of
yeah,
sight. Yeah. But all right, so this should be launching later today if
yep,
everything goes as planned. And now we are filming this last week according to when you're watching. So anything can change, but it should be launching later today. We'll have a link in the video description below. If it hasn't launched yet, you can at least follow that link and bookmark it and get ready to do it. Jay, thanks for coming on. And
Dude,
it's always fun talking about gaming, talking about Star Trek, Star Wars, Legion, MCP, Into the Unknown, all of that good stuff. Twilight Imperium.
yeah. Listen, man, you're a scholar and a gentleman, and I'm so glad that you had me on. And I'd do anything for you, Crabbok. You're the best. I love you, man.
Well, I could use a foot massage. But...
Yeah, you got it. I'll be down your way soon.
I said that.
Yeah,
I have no filter sometimes. Just
I'm coming.
Yeah.
To your house, and I'm giving you one the next time I'm in town. Don't you worry.
So awkward. I don't think that would be enjoyable for either one.
And I'm gonna look your wife right in the eyes the entire time.
Oh gosh, you know what? This is crazy. This has gone off the rails now. I'm gonna have to find a button over here. All right, but I want to thank you guys for watching. Big thanks to Jay. Definitely check out the Kickstarter, and it's going to be awesome. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Leave any questions you have about the Kickstarter in the comments below. Maybe Jay will get to them. Maybe I'll get to them. Maybe your fellow community members will say, that was a great question, and thank you so much for asking. Wise men once said, there are no stupid questions, only stupid people. But I know that's not you. I don't know why I am saying things. I'm all completely off the rail. And when Jay comes on, I get stupid. That's what happens.
Me. I'm the stupid person that came on here and set you ablaze.
Oh
yeah.
Gosh, this is a crazy one. And I'm not editing any of that out. It's all staying in. Foot massage and everything.
Perfect.
And the rabbit fans, looking for carrots. It's all staying in. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. And always wash your socks.